What is up, everybody? How's it going tonight? What's up, William? Uh, Ian, Mushroom, Dimitri, Rock's in here. Rock, I was wondering if you have ever heard of. I don't know if you're a beer guy, but got a beer from Rusty Rail tonight, which is in Mifflinburg, PA. When I misread it, I thought it said Harrisburg, and then I'm like, oh, Rock will know about this. But then I was read it closer, and I was like, oh, I looked at the wrong thing. I was just looking up where that is before we went on stream though. But it does look like they have a bike path that goes in and out of town here. So Jackass Brewing Company in the town over. Anyways, what else we got up in here? Cycling Brian, what's up? Large is here. John York, Peekaboo. What's up, Madison? William? Metroid X88. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Nick out in Brooklyn. I was just messaging with someone from Brooklyn earlier today. They were sending me a picture of a building they thought I was cool, that I would think was cool, in Crown Point, the old Studebaker building. We had one that had the exact same like terracotta logo that got torn down a couple years ago. Anyways, right into maps. Yeah, I'm trying to get the ratings up on this stream. Oh, Metroid, were you out at Maid? Yeah, I'd be curious if anyone was out there. I was thinking of trying to line up a guest who had been out there. I've talked to Brian from Yelbert Threadworks about being on the stream before, and he's into it. But this is like the busiest week I feel like I've ever had these last 2 weeks. It went from 0 to 100. I think I was saying this all last week. So if it's, but yeah. Wayne up in Maine. Does everyone say that to you? Wayne from Maine. Oh, Ian, we were talking about he's recovering from cancer before we came on, and how he gets back into it. I do like the e-bike idea if you don't mind doing that, but yeah, just starting slow I think has got to be the way you go. Dunder Mifflin is actually from Scranton, where I just was on my last trip to PA. I think, isn't that where the office takes place, in Scranton, PA? Yeah. I don't know how I remember that, because I like the office, but I'm not like, some people. I'm not like an office completist or anything. Yep, everyone says Wayne from Maine. Oh, wait. Dog fan was that made? Eye candy for days. Yeah, I mean, this year it looks like, last year looked awesome too, but there were some bikes this year that I was so into. I didn't get the chance to watch. Pathless Pedal just dropped a 40-minute video today, which I'll be excited to see because I'm sure it's really good. I just followed along on Instagram so far, and then the preview video Pathless Pedal had made, but I haven't watched any of the other stuff yet from there. But I think my two favorites are that, what was it called? The Wild Sugarfoot, that lugged frame that just was so beautiful. They also had the lugged Earthship, which I thought was cool. And then that number 22, the Drifter, that number 22 I built for Decline, I just thought was so cool looking. Should pull some of those up here in a minute, but that like anodized looking titanium frame. But Metroid, you're in Seattle, so not that far. Aaron asked me if I want to go next year, and I'm like, I always want to go to stuff like that. The thing for me would be going to the group rides. I don't think it's in my personality to walk around interviewing people, especially with so many people doing that. That kind of thing makes me awkward when everyone else is doing it. But it'd be fun to go up and just film some stuff and voice over it, and then do all the group rides that go on around there. I've never even been to the Pacific Northwest, which is mind blowing considering I had two friends who lived out there for years and years and years. But yeah, was the variable geobike the one with the two motion, like the dropper? I guess I did watch another video. I watched Bike Sauce's video. That was just like a 6 or 8 minute video. What's up, Pudgy? That lugged wild bike looks sweet. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking on William. Terry Berenson rode from Connecticut to Maine. Speaking of Maine, just over the ended yesterday, so 7 days to get up there. About the tie fenders, and I one thing, because you know those tie fenders. He was saying this when I was like, wow. He was saying there if he got them on his number 22, they'd be $1,200. So $1,200 fenders, uh, and I'm just like, man, fenders just pick up so much stuff. And I know you could install fenders well, but if you do off-road stuff, I do not want $1,200 fenders on my bike. But yeah, if you're going to use it for touring or commuting or just like light gravel, cool. But man, I feel like that is something that would limit the way you would use a bike. And if I was getting a number 22, I would not want the way I could ride it being limited in any way. But it looks absolutely stunning. So. Oh, I didn't know Brian from Yellowbird has a brother who lives out there. That's nice. Yeah, I was impressed he was traveling all that far. I mean, because I know he's busy between his job and family and everything. So it makes more sense that he has family out there. Thrifty said, I got to see the Wild Lug bike in person before it went out west. Pretty impressive. A lot lighter than you'd expect. Yeah, I'm sure they used pretty nice tubing on that. Oh, I saw that Peekaboo when I just happened to be in there when you were doing that. I think it was a day where I had, because I usually watch Terry stream on Twitch, because for live streaming, like stuff like that, the Twitch experience is kind of a little bit better on my TV. But what I do is I sometimes open up the YouTube chat and the Twitch chat on my computer while I'm working on my third monitor, or just the laptop monitor. So I happened to have that up that day when you were chatting. Yeah, $1,200 Fender. I don't know, is that 2,000 in Canadian, Dimitri? I haven't seen the price of Broadford of what the Sugarfoot is. Can you look that up, Dave? Sugarfoot Wild with an E. What?
I know what wild is.
Wildy. Oh, Edmund's over there chilling. See on stream? Can you see him? Yeah, you can see him a little bit. Yeah, $1,200 on fenders. Yeah.
Sugarfoot frame set, 650B,
Yeah, I think they only make. I think it is a 650B design bike.
3900.
3,900. It's an American-made frame, a lugged frame. I think they're Richard Sachs lugs and everything, so it's an all-out. That doesn't surprise me. 3,900 for that. I mean, yeah, it's expensive though. Do they have the lugged Earthship on there? A price on that bike? I would probably get a regular Earth. Well, who's are they making those in Taiwan now? Are they making local ones and Taiwanese Earthships? Because the original Earthships were made by uh, Gunner. Why can't I think of the actual main brand that makes Gunner? Richard Schwinn. Uh, Paramount. I'm saying every single word adjacent to the name Waterford. The original Earthship was made by Waterford. Richard Schwinn's company that also makes Gunner, but they're out of business. So.
It's 34.
Oh, 3,400 for the lugged.
34 lugged, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would. I think that the Sugarfoot has much wider clearance for tires, but he said it's still pretty reasonably aggressive geometry. So. Pudgy said I don't even like rolling off a curb with fenders. Yeah, I've never done like a full, like, nice install of fenders. I mean, and you know, there are like really solid installs, you know, the whole going through the whole build, which I'm sure on that number 22 they are. But I'm sure you could probably jump off a jump and they wouldn't rattle one bit. It's just I still picture like a stick going. I've ripped derailleurs off my bike, you know what I mean? So. Bubber said, y'all discuss Surly's new fat tire 6.2 with pinion coming? No, I have not looked up that at all yet, actually. This is why we totally got to figure out how you could pull the pictures up here, because if I do that, I get so far behind.
Mm-hmm.
But We'll get it done.
I couldn't find the that Surly bike.
Must maybe it's just announced and not on the website yet. It was a fun week of bike stuff. Got to ride with Lael as well in Oregon. Oh, is she back? I guess I've kind of lost track of that. Her around the world thing. Is that over then, or is she back in the U.S. finishing? Yeah, I haven't seen much, Chris, on the Grotech equal shifters, but friction drifters basically is what I understand. I remember when they were announced, kind of, and they talked about them. So yeah, one video came across my feed that I didn't have time to watch by someone I hadn't heard of who seemed like they were going to talk about them. But yeah, that'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, like, again, how much throw do they have, how cross compatible they are with different things, because I could definitely see a time where, as some of my 9-speed stuff wears out and all that, where, especially for the front one, if you could just throw a friction one on there, that'd be cool. Yeah, front shifter. Most of you guys run one by for some reason, but well, we're here with triples. Ian said, I just spent $59 on fenders and I think it's too expensive. Edmund Cam, Russian Grandma Can. Oh, yeah, Pudgy getting me with Waterford when I was fumbling for my words. Yeah, and then the Volta has been exciting. Primos is finding ways to somehow lose it. And, well, we were joking in the Discord. He's not finding a new way to lose it. He's losing exactly how he lost it last year. So, yeah. So with the cheaper fenders, it's two totally different things. I think. Like, I use a clip-on rear fender, and then even I was riding my Marin the other day, and I do have more of a full fender on the front of that one. But again, it's just that simpler strap-on one, and it's very different to do like a full install with, like, as you can see back here, like the metal bevel. Those are actual Honjos. But if you put those kind of fenders on, it's a full custom build with like the leather washers and everything, and it's a different experience for riding than just any kind of clip-on or temporary type fender setup. Not that you can't do those well too, but you know. Yeah, and even like the rear one that I use, and I can move it around between bikes, and it's just enough to keep your butt dry and keep mud off my camera. It's a totally different experience also with full fenders like that, actually keep your feet dry and all that kind of stuff. So, you know. Yeah, okay, so Leo is, well, obviously back, but yeah. Okay, so she's down almost through Cali now. Yeah, because that's right. She was doing a route that's different than how most people have done the round the world route. Just thinking down here. Broadford said they're only making 10 Sugarfoots this run. Oh, okay. So, Canty Nor'easter, here you come. The only issue I have is the Nor'easter really thin like the Romancer. Just being that our buddy Aaron and other people that we've talked about before have broken crust frames, I would be a little nervous. I wonder how thin the tubing is on that Wild, because it seems like that was designed to be like pretty off road, but someone else said how light it was. So. No strap on talk before 10. When that came out of my mouth, I'm like, someone's gonna make a joke out of this. Psychic Bride says, I have full metal fenders on a dedicated rain commuter bike. Prefer no fenders on your other bikes. And that's always was my goal, was to take one of my vintage bikes and make it like that's why I have those fenders, make like a dedicated bike for the rain when you're out. Like, or even if it's just been raining all day and it stops and the roads are wet, that's when fenders are also really, really nice. Portland Design Works. Are those the ones that just clip onto? What are the ones that everyone's using now? The something wing that clips onto the stays. I know people who use rear bags or don't have a lot of seat post room are really into those. I see them everywhere now. My bikes are so tall that I don't really have a problem with. I've never had a problem with the ones that just clamp on the seat too. But I need to look those up. Portland design. I think they're the ones I'm thinking of. Oh, they make a bunch of kinds. Nah, I don't want that link. Idiots who put pop-ups on their website. It's just that it's a trash way to run a website. You haven't given me anything yet and you expect me to take action on something? If any of you guys have a website and you put pop-ups on in the first few seconds, take it down. Whoever told you to do that is a fucking idiot. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I have pet peeves, and that's one of them. Yeah, these are like kind of what I. Oh, there's like the more traditional clip-on ones. I think the person who's the company that makes the one that goes onto the stays, because I think they have a patent on it. Because Micah was telling me one of his buddies made one like it, and they got a cease and desist in like a week, posting it on Instagram. Yeah, they make okay, tons of stuff. I knew the company, but I haven't actually looked at their stuff before. Oh, that's cool. They have them set up on a breadwinner right there. Ah, nice, Brian. Just scored a pair of Bella Orange Easy fenders for $20. Put them on your Marin gravel commuter.
Pudgy Pedal Pusher became a member. Pudgy Pedal Pusher celebrates 42 months of membership. Ass savers, you pickle-faced pinecone.
It's even funnier that it didn't put the text on screen, so I didn't know what it was going to say. I'm usually reading along before it says it. Ass savers.
I was gonna ask about ass savers, if it's worth it.
I think like everyone's going crazy about these. I think they're worth it for a specific use case. I don't really see their advantages if you don't want to clip them up. Like if you, like I said, you have a smaller bike or you have bags on the rear. I want to see where the it's this, the wind wing. Where is it on a bike? So it clips on like that. They say it works surprisingly well. I don't know. That's a horrible picture showing it like rub on the tire. I don't know why they didn't notice that in their like actually high-end photo. But yeah, it's a cool design, but especially if you have a dropper or something like that, you know. Catching up on everything you guys are already just correcting me on. Yeah, ass saver wind wing. Yep, that's what I was thinking of. What's up, Benjamin? They have a really nice stem bell. Which one? Because now I've lost where we are as always. Probably Pacific Design. What was it? Portland Design Works. Not ass savers, I would guess. Oh, did I have those on screen or no? Do you know if I had the ass savers on screen?
I don't know. I was looking myself.
We're both looking up at the thing, not paying attention. Shoot. Now I went back to this. Let's see. In case I didn't, I'm bringing it back up. Where's the picture I was? Yeah, just they did it in this photo too, showing it like rubbing on the tire. What's with them? Who would ever mount something that close? Mucky Nuts. I think Dirty River sells those too. Yeah. I've definitely noticed that with certain fenders about like you're saying like not keeping the person behind you very dry. Was that are you saying that about the wind wing? Because I could see that being the case. But oh, good night, Ian. PDW stem bell. And Jay Dandy said ass savers work well for tire clearance too. Hey, what's up, Bradley? How you doing? The Alexander brand bell. Let's look this up. Now I'll go back to it because I was afraid I didn't have that on screen. But there's the Alexander brand bell. Huh, not that expensive for compared to some of the fancier bells out there. King of Ding. I like their names for sure. Alexander Graham Bell is a good one too. Graham, Alexander Graham Bell. Yeah, nobody sets those fenders up like that in the real world. 3XO Matt, because I've got a bunch of friends who have them. When am I going to have Novak back on? I could have him back on whenever he wants to come back. I ride with him every week. Yeah, it'd be fun to have him back on. Maybe after he's doing a trip. He's doing another trip soon, so maybe have him back on when he gets back from his next trip. But you know what's funny about saying that, like the fenders, like not like people. If it doesn't keep people behind you clean, it's not your problem. I always find it frustrating when I do like the early like I do road apple every year in March, and the gravel is usually pretty wet, and it's like people are just getting soaked with no fender, and I always put my clip-on one on, and people won't put it on because it's a race, and it's stupid. But everybody loves to draft me, and then I can't draft them because it's like blasting me in the face. So. Do you want it nearly touching the tire? I guess maybe if you're riding on the road, you could have it that close, but I would never. We ride too much dumb stuff to put a fender that close to your tire. So. I've seen way too many people with fenders rubbing their tires. They just don't seem to hear it. Yeah, when I did use the Marin to do the gap in the CNO, my bag was pushing on it, and it just the way the angle was, it was bouncing on it occasionally, and that fender like was so thin in the spot after that trip. But industrial gavel shirts restock. Rock, I haven't done it yet. One thing as I was considering is bringing some merch to Nutmeg, and that would get me motivated to get stuff made, but I also don't have a lot of money right now. So. I've ridden behind full road fenders and still gotten splashed from it. Yeah. Oh, there's bikes with the plexiglass windshield. Yeah, I'd get like one of those. What do you call the recliner bikes? Recumbents. I've seen the recumbents with those. The initial Honjo setup takes 4 PK. Forever, I think, yeah. But all season after that, they're pretty dreamy, lights out, and quiet, yeah. No bouncing on it occasionally before 10. Everybody wants to draft me, humble brag. 4-pack of beer to install. Take ours 4-pack mean it just takes strength. Not quite a 6-pack, but 4-pack. Neat new wheels. Any thoughts on 650B? I don't have 650B on anything, so I mean, I assume there's a bunch. The stuff I ride is also made in 650B, but I don't ever look it up because I don't ever use it. But yeah, but you said velocity is always what I go with. Actually, speaking of that, I'll bring that up right now. Velocity actually warranted my rims. I'm not going to go into it too deep right now, but there's some issues with them and my ailerons on the rally. So Yonda messaged me today. He might rebuild my wheels on next week's stream. So we could ask him wheel questions, have a Yonda cam, Yonda mic, and I don't know how well that'll work because if Yonda talks, he doesn't work. So we'll see what happens. But if I really want to get my wheels built, maybe I don't give him a mic, but just a Yonda cam. When am I riding horns? I have no idea. We're talking about doing something over Labor Day weekend and going somewhere, but we're not sure where yet. But I don't know. Oh, so they do make the ailerons in 650 as well. Nice. Bradley has Hunt Adventure Carbon 650s. Yeah.
Brian Carlin became a member.
Hey, thanks, Brian. Welcome to the club. Speaking of members, I actually did film a new members intro tonight. I realized what was happening is my GoPro was overheating because I had it on all the highest settings and I was trying to run it for a long time. And I don't know. I think it's just the last few times I tried to do it was hot out. So I only do the intros in 1080 anyway, so I set the GoPro to 1080 and I filmed a new intro. It was right before we started the stream, so I didn't have time to put it together, but next week we'll finally have a new intro and it'll have all the members' names on it, including our latest member, Brian. So, anyways. Yeah, I think, like, one of the reasons, like, I have no problem with 650s either, or even 26s on an appropriate bike, but being someone who's taller, and my bikes are all, you know, like 60 or 60 equivalents or 58s and stuff like that, 700 or 29, or if you want to use the mountain bike term, just makes more sense for me. But yes, patience and beer or whatever is required. Yeah. My one friend Ryan, who we used to ride with a lot, but now he has a couple of kids who are growing up, did a full like Hanjo or Velo Orange fender install, and he's like, man, it took all day, but then they lasted me forever. But Matt said he's seen like 6 Hanjos in real life and half were broken. So can I just build them so we don't have to deal with Christopher? Actually, no, because they were, well, I mean, not that you would probably charge me, but Otis basically said since there was a problem with the wheels he sold me that Velocity warranted the rims. Otis basically, as Dirty River, is warrantying the build. So it'll be fun. It always is. We'll get him some, what does he drink? Coors Banquet. Some banquets. So see what Edmund thinks of him. Found a new set of DT Swiss GR 1600s. You're getting those, and your wife a set of Velocities. Nice. Yeah, I was glad. I really wanted to get the new intro done. Well, my garden was still looking pretty decent too. There's like sunflowers out there. Not all the flowers are dead yet. A lot of the hanging baskets have finally died. But yeah.
I can imagine this week is going to wipe those out.
Yeah. Well, it looks like, and then Dimitri had asked about that too. Am I going to make a different intro for every season? You know what? It would be nice to, but when I used to have like the winter videos and stuff, and then I wouldn't change them quick enough, it was so nobody wanted to see that shit. Summer's better year round. I think we all want to see summer no matter what season it is. So. Speaking of the Discord, I'll talk to the channel members about this, but with it, it's been really growing fast lately, and there is a member section. If you link up your YouTube account with Discord, there's a members channel. We don't do a ton with it now, but as it grows, like maybe it's worth adding more categories that only members can see. So it's not taking anything away from anyone else, but it's just adding extra benefits for members. So, what's up, Spencer? Used to have an XL bike that came with 26-inch wheels. Yeah, Otis has a Cannondale. It's a CAD something. I can't remember which one it is, but with him being, he's even taller than I am, and with the 26-inch wheels, it looks so crazy, and it's bright orange too. So it just, I feel like the small wheel size stands out even more. Even looking at my Marin over there with like the drop bars and the taller Thompson seat post, like they look small on that bike, and that was a bike that was made for him. But yeah, I do find, especially when you're used to 700C 29 or 26-inch wheels look pretty small. Mushroom asked if I ever go live and ride. No, I don't have the equipment for it, and to do it well, it's not cheap. So, I looked. Terry B's done live streams explaining how he does his setup, which his setup is made to be pretty bomb-proof, considering it's a big part of what he does, and he goes long distances and off. But I mean, it's very, very expensive to do well. I know people do it with Raspberry Pis and all that. I would love to do it. I think it would be a blast. I would love to do like some of those summer rides where I'm riding alone and be able to like just chat. But yeah, I don't have the technical know-how to do it on a budget, and I don't have the budget to do it a really good way. If that makes any sense. Coors Banquet. That's saying, yeah, those things have blown up. Like I said, I see them everywhere now, and they do the cool things with all the cool designs too. Hey Brett, thanks. I appreciate that. I have still intend to mix it up. It's funny because I think most people appreciate the voiceover videos, and I've gotten better at them. I think a big deal has been leaving space in them, so like saying some stuff and letting the music kick back up instead of trying to fill all the dead air by rambling. Just stuff you learn as you get better at doing videos. But even like, I did the video this week has a voiceover, but the one I'm going to put out later in the week is going to be more of a music video just with an intro. So it'll still be a mix, but I do appreciate that. Did I say fastly? Brian, you said you're 6'1" and have an orange Specialized with 26-inch wheels. Does Twitch have a TOS against live stream rides? I can't imagine they do, because I mean I watch Terry on there all the time. So the other thing that's sweet about Twitch is like he's able to play like copyrighted music the whole rides, and it doesn't give him strikes, like whereas YouTube wouldn't be able, not strikes, but you just couldn't monetize the video on YouTube. But I wouldn't care about that anyways. That's also a whole nother level to like make it so people could pay to have song requests. But that's why he's so good at what he does. His monthly phone bill has to be money. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like he said, like when he stops streaming, he doesn't do it for a while because when he starts up the bike streams, he needs to keep going to basically cover the costs of all that, because I think he's running 3 SIMs, right? Verizon, whatever, the 3 main ones, AT&T and Sprint. Does anyone still use Sprint? Anyways, he's running basically 3 SIMs, and then he's also hotspotting from his phone to do other things. It's intense, yeah. Live view fees plus carriers add up, yeah. And then even like the piece of equipment, the encoder thing that everything plugs into, I think those are like $1,000, right? So, yeah. Oh, Dimitri, we got Dimitri in here. He's a live streamer who's an expert on it. I don't know why I'm even trying to, but said the Orange Pi 5 Plus setup is somewhat cost effective. And I also live in, I don't know, like cell coverage wise. I mean, Northeast Ohio is, I'm sure, pretty covered, but it's not definitely not New York City, but or Toronto, or Dimitri is. What are you gonna say, Dave? Oh. Yeah, I like the winter intro when it was winter. Someone also sent me a on the Lost Boston video, and they said this is my winter commute in Boston, and I was clicking through it, and it was like so hard, especially that we're getting towards the end of the summer to watch that video that I kind of clicked around, and I'm like, I need to put this into my watch later and watch this one. It's like cold out because it just like that last winter we were talking about all the bushcraft videos. Like I don't watch any of those winter things when it's not winter, so. Matthew asked, how's the Akron cyclocross scene? Pretty non-existent in Akron itself, but there's a Northeast Ohio cyclocross scene, and there's a lot going on there. It's just weighted more towards Cleveland, but Roach Clips, my buddy Woody, is hosting one of the events in Akron this year, and he's also doing weekly cyclocross practices in Akron this year. So that'll help. I mean, I know people from Akron who ride cyclocross. There's just not the races and stuff haven't been here. So this is kind of the first year since I've been following it where there actually is activity in Akron itself. So, yeah. Oh, the Discord has been growing so fastly. Did I say that? Quickly. It did though, didn't you guys? I mean, I think I brought it up in a video that did really well, and I didn't even know that video would do well, and it really just expanded pretty quick, or just got a lot of new energy in there, new members, people, whatever. Just plug the Verizon home internet that runs off 5G into the Dynamo and go hard. Dimitri said LiveView is way overpriced, but you get access to their unlimited sims. Okay. Second Discord is growing fastly. I don't keep up like I used to. Yeah. And maybe that is I don't know. Like I said, I'll put it up in the members chat if you guys feel like there's a reason to expand more topics into there. And then there's a place where things move a little slower, and that's a benefit to the channel members. One of those things I'd always thought about, but it just wasn't necessary. Same with the live streams. There is a way to, set it so there's only the members can chat, but I don't want to do that yet. But it's like one thing and I think it's one thing that could be like the first 15 minutes of a stream or the last 15 minutes. I don't know. People who fund the channel, I think, do deserve some of those benefits, and we've always talked about, like when the channel was small and we first had members, if it grows, then maybe we'll add a few more benefits. But the one I've been doing right now, and I've been so busy I haven't been keeping up, but I really like that YouTube and it added that I could make a video when I upload it, only the members could see it, then I can schedule it for when I would normally put them out, which typically is Monday at 2:30, if you guys don't know. If I'm not always on time with that, and then if I have more content I do Thursday, and if I have a ton of content I do Saturday. But my goal is always that Monday at 2:30. But if I do get it up early, basically what I do is I set it so members can see it as soon as it's uploaded, and then it still just goes live to the public at Monday at 2:30. Like this week it only got uploaded at like 1 o'clock, so it was only like an hour and a half early for members. But other times I do get stuff up way earlier. Oh, on the right protected music, Dimitri said that Twitch just mutes the videos after the fact. Okay. Yeah, which I guess is fine because, man, I don't feel like people watch. I gotta imagine people aren't watching a lot of videos on Twitch after the fact. But yeah, even when Terry just goes for a casual ride through New York City, it could give you anxiety. Yeah, I think so too, Pudgy. So. Yeah. I think there is a command, or is there a command for members, or does it just do that on the timers basis? I can't remember. I think the timer just pops it up once in a while, that Stream Elements thing. But yeah, on the homepage, it should be like next. If you subscribe, then I think after you subscribe, the join shows up. Yeah, YouTube takes so long to process stuff. So even when I used to cut off the intro on these live streams so that when people would watch it after the fact, there wasn't that 10-minute counter in the beginning. Even to process that, it takes like all night. So yeah, I could only imagine how long it would take YouTube to cut music out. And then I was watching someone test it. I think it might have been MKBHD, and it still sounded pretty bad. So like with trying to keep if you were talking while the music was playing. Hey, what's up, Mr. Natty? I use Premiere Pro. I'm fully Adobe, so I use Adobe for everything. So, yeah. Just because it's all integrated, it's one price, and now finally getting a switch into Mac, Premiere runs like a dream, and then Adobe has done a bunch to update how quick it runs anyways lately. There was a while there where I was considering jumping ship, but now it just, yeah, multiple threads of 4K video, absolutely no issue on a first gen M1 Pro um, laptop. So yeah, I even get that on my. Sometimes I pick a song that I really like that I thought was not going to be, um, that I thought was going to be royalty free, and then it gets blocked in certain countries. But it's usually really weird. It'll usually be like Vietnam, and I'm like, Vietnam has block against exclusive rights or whatever the song. Don was asking about tire size for a gravel bike. It's still hard to say because it really depends on how rough the stuff you're riding is. I have 44s, and I almost always rode 42s until the 40s.
Standy became a member. Standy celebrates 41 months of membership. Me and Walter White are just bots. Blue crack, banana.
Thanks, Jane Andy, for the 41 months or 42 months. But yeah. I'm going to turn Walter off for good. He's getting one more week, and then that's it. For those who don't know, we have a bot in the Discord that is Walter White's personality. So, but he's been getting more and more aggressive lately. Yeah, so I run 44s on my drop bar gravel bike, and I really like that. But then my like ATB sweep bar bike, I run 55s. Man, I would go even wider on the Raleigh if it took wider. And I did, especially if I didn't have the gunner. But yeah, I don't know. 45 to 50 range, I think is probably would be my recommendation now. I just wider and wider. I get just like start to like tires wider and wider now. But I just don't notice the downsize. The downside, like I just rode. If you guys saw the videos, I rode to Ann Arbor on a sweep bar bike on 55s, and I was fine, you know. So yeah, DaVinci is free, and then you can upgrade DaVinci. People love DaVinci. It's a completely different style of editing. That's the other problem for me is I don't really learning something new is, man. Like I said, one of the whole goals of this YouTube channel was for me to learn how to edit faster. When this YouTube channel was just tiny, that was my whole plan. Is if I made a YouTube video every week, I'd get better at it. And now I know the keyboard shortcuts, and I know what I do, what I'm doing. Premiere are some things that I've read in other editing softwares don't have, which are kind of deal breakers to me. Multiple timelines in Premiere are very important to me for professional work, not for what I do on YouTube. But if I'm doing interview pieces with people, a lot of times there's like 4 or 5 interviews. There's one main video, and then there's different clips. So having a bunch of timelines open at once is very good, because you could edit interviews and then drop them into different timelines for your bigger projects. Just personal nerdy stuff that I really, really like. So
We might be buffering.
oh really, are we losing the stream? Hell yeah, we are. No data. Well, it's a thunderstorm outside too. Are we losing everybody?
Is it?
What's that? Oh, was it when you got here? Wasn't it? I got lightning alerts when we got here. Let me know if it's unwatchable, guys, or if you can't hear anything. So it just looks like it's coming back though. But Yeah, 9:42. Okay, it's back. I think we're back. So if you guys missed anything, sorry about that. Oh, Bradley, you and Mr. Natty ride together? I mean, I know we're all at Nutmeg together, but would make sense, fellow New Yorkers. Yeah, what Pudgy said 40, 45. Bodford said 42, 45. Yeah, on the tire size. Yeah, one thing, if you're in the Adobe ecosystem, like talked about this before, but if you have like say, a Photoshop file in Premiere, so you're making a video and you're using something still from Photoshop, you could go change that in Photoshop and it'll automatically change in Premiere. And you can do the same thing with Illustrator. So if you're in the whole ecosystem, it's really nice. It is expensive. There's no doubt about it. But
Jack Johnson subscribed to the channel.
the singer? Yeah, let me know if we're back. So yeah, Metroid. I only use the Pro Standard mouth, whatever they call theirs. Yeah, I don't use any other mounts. I mean, I have other mounts, and there's very specific use cases. Pudgy gave me a chest mount, and we use that for mountain biking. I have all kinds of mounts for like doing the Gravel Badass series, or very specific stuff. But in general, 95% of the videos on my YouTube channel are filmed over the last few years with the Pro Standard mouth mount. I don't like locking the GoPro down and not being able to point it around. The other thing that I don't like is as good as the stabilization on GoPros has got, the vibration from the bike, and when you lock the mount onto the bike, it just doesn't look as good. So like Terry B says, your head is the best gimbal that exists. So yeah, that's the other thing, Cycling Brian. I've given this advice a lot of times when people ask me about tire size for something that's like as wide as your bike will take. I don't actually I haven't followed that advice on the Gunner. I've stuck with the 55s, even though that could take wider tires. I just think 55 is like pretty good. But also, when we were going to do some tours, I considered putting fenders on that bike. Never ended up doing it, but that was part of the reason not to max out the tires. And then I've just kind of stuck with the 55s. And yeah, like you're saying, the rolling resistance, even on like knobby tires like Ultra Dynamicos and Rene Airs and some of the WTBs, and there's a set of Continentals you guys all talk about that roll really fast. So yeah, wide supple tires, even ones that look aggressive, can be pretty quick on the road. So Peekaboo, I think most people know here, I'm a Rene Airs fanboy, but they're super expensive. I think they're up over $100 now. So some cheaper things are Gravel Kings, but I find Gravel Kings could be a little annoying on stuff like Canal Towpath because they just kick up stones like crazy. So if you have to ride behind someone, or if you do use fenders, they're tinging off the fenders nonstop. But David said he's got the 48 millimeter Rene Airs Pass tires on your gravel bike. Nice. Stream has improved. Good. Yeah, I don't know what's up. Now it's showing me like with full. Yeah. I said they were showing. I thought they were showing thunderstorms moved in. So yeah. We need a Mr. T or Pauly Shore bot. As long as Pauly Shores is able to make like the weasel noise, that's. Use bikes? I don't know what that means or if it's a joke. If you change your Discord style, what about dat chord or rip chord or play a chord? Bradley said you've done the OCA together before. It was rad group on Sunday and Natty had to work. Yeah, I need to. Man, like I said, after Nutmeg, I would love to get down to New York and ride the OCA again. That's what we did 2 years ago. Like I said, Bradley, I'm still considering like the Long Island thing, but then I looked into doing Long Island into the city and then up the OCA. It really depends on what Erin's going to decide. She hasn't decided what she wants to do at all. So,
Kedsling became a member.
thanks, Headsling. Appreciate it. Tell him. Oh, Mr. Bradley is the geezer. Ask him about his coffee camping setup. It's the dog's box. Could Mr. Natty have written a more British sentence? I like. I only saw geezer at first, and then I'm like, I just only know that from like hearing like Paul Weller say it. But yeah, the dog's box is another one. That's the most British sentence of all time. Yeah, Victoria Mezcals. That's what I was looking for, William, not the Continentals. Even though now that Continental's hiring me to do stuff, I need to find good Continental gravel tires. It's not even the tire division at all that I work with. But I did meet the overall CEO, which is kind of cool. But even had a beer with him. Or took a picture of him having a beer. Yeah, those Victoria Mezcals, people are loving those tires. I think Large runs them, so... And I think they are cheaper. I think they're cheaper than any of the tires that are made over in the Panarisa factory. So I saw the. I did see the post about the gunks in April, and it's definitely on my radar. It's way too early for me to commit with the way my schedule goes, but I would love to do that. So, like I said, I loved riding out there on our own, but that group ride you guys did with the other cuts and everything, and plus just that crew. I mean, I knew a number of you guys out there, but yeah, Miggy and everyone, that'd be great. Yeah. I was Ben. Ben is because he used a different Instagram. Oh God, what is his Instagram name? Yeah, I can never remember anyone's real names because of Instagram, and I'm also can't remember anything. So. Hey, what's up, Racer? Racer said 30C road, 42 gravel, 2.2 to 4 for the mountain bike, 2.6 for drop bar monster, 3 and 5 for the fat. Yeah, even on the road, I'd go wider. These I mean, I wouldn't even go under 32, and if I could fit 38s, like Large Marge's road bike with I think he had 35s or 38s on that slicks, man. Wide slicks are awesome too, like wide, but wide road slicks, Otis built up a fat bike with slicks, which was pretty interesting looking. I think he brought him by when he was on the stream, when he did a fat bike stream. You should make it out to Pudgy. We should go out to Gunks next year. Did I crack this other beer? Oh, weird. Double fisted on this stream. It's like COVID times. Sorry, trigger warning. To conservatives who don't believe in shit. Samuel L. Jackson bot after 10 p.m. Can we have a bot in the live stream chat? I already can't keep up. That'd be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, I think you're right, Jay Dandy. I'm thinking of the GKs from Gravel King. They're the ones with the real fine tread pattern. That's what I have on the Marin. And I ran them on something else for a while too, because there's a set over here. But yeah, Erin was, as soon as we hit the CNO and she heard those tinging off my fender, she was like, oh man, this is going to be a long trip. Oh, you can't become a member on an iPhone. Huh. Interesting. That seems like a pretty big oversight. Like, they improve everything. I mean, YouTube works hard to like get stuff up, but yeah. Guess I've never tried to look at it. Of course I won't. I was going to see if it shows it on here and there's just something that's missing. No, yeah, it doesn't on the homepage. It doesn't show anything about becoming a member on the phone. So, anyways. Oh, Pudgy said you can, but it's a pain. So, oh yeah, Pudgy would know. He's full phone over there. The Orient Point Ferry is the move to Nutmeg. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. We'll be doing it after because I have to work 2 days before Nutmeg. So whatever I do, like with that trip out east, will mostly be after. We'll probably spend 2 days getting there again. So. Oh, we had. Oh, you didn't know what the Discord was used by? Yeah, it's basically like I've said. This is the way I describe it. It's a glorified message board. Um, just so everyone knows, it's been a while since I've said this, but I have it turned so like you don't get notifications or anything like that. So that's what the Discord is. So we just use just different categories of things to talk about. So obviously, whole section for bicycles, whole section of just other random stuff we talk about, and then a section for like nerdy camera stuff because I'm into that. But you can sleep. You could snooze categories and whole sections. So if you don't care about camera stuff, you could just snooze it all. If you don't care about the other stuff, you could snooze it all, or just specific topics that you're like, oh, I don't care about that. So I think it's just a really effective way. The original reason we had it was to be able to show like pictures of other people's bikes on the stream, which we're due for a full bicycle photo chat live stream again. Maybe we do that 2 weeks out because we'll have Yonda next week do the wheel build, and then maybe in a couple weeks we'll do the where everyone posts photos of their bikes again. We used to do that every stream, but found we kind of need to manage it because I just can't keep up. So Fake Mountains, that's the name I was thinking of. Mr. Natty said I used to cut Paul Weller's hair. Lovely bloke and Dee Dee Ramone, but that's another story for when I see you. Oh, no way. Well, I'll talk about Paul Weller all day long, that's for sure.
Metroid88 became a member.
Hey, thanks, Metroid. Appreciate it. Yeah, pretty big Weller fanboy over here. My guitar player was an absolute Weller, what would you say, clone? Almost. I mean, I learned how to, like, we've talked about I was in a band before. I learned how to play bass by my guitar player teaching me every jam song on In the City. So, yeah. And then we finally met him in Cleveland. Got a nice photo with Weller and his arm around me, which I still can't believe. So, yeah, anyways. And as Mr. Natty knows, half of you guys probably don't know who, most of you guys probably don't know who Paul Weller is, but in England, Weller's been a top 40 artist for, what, 40 years now? More than that? 50 years now? So, yeah, anyways. Oh, yeah, you're going to be going back to Ireland again. What about Nutmeg this fall, Pudgy? Oh, Headsling, you said you did the Gunks ride Minnewaska last Friday. Yeah. Like I've said, it's got to be amazing any time of year. When we did it after Nutmeg with the fall colors, it was exceptionally fantastic. But I bet it's cool with even more views in the winter and then in the spring when everything's turning green and flowering. So, yeah. Apple takes 30% if you do it on the iPhone. Oh, because the App Store. Yeah. Gotcha, guys. I understand. So YouTube's trying to force you to the browser so you're not doing it through the iPhone stuff. I get it. Broadford asked if Higher Ground's happening this year. I was just talking to someone about that. They had made a post from the account a couple months ago, but I have not seen Jared say anything about it himself. And his other buddy who worked at the shop, whose name is eluding me, who I talked to in Ann Arbor at the bike show there. So I'm not sure if he was thinking of doing something, if he runs the account. I don't know. There hasn't been anything posted about it since just they said there was going to be one. And it was just one random post a couple months ago. So How did I get this far behind again? Oh, there you go. You guys are all explaining it for me. Thanks. Yeah. I'm such a desktop guy that I don't have like the answers to any of these questions about YouTube stuff because like I'm a member of Terry B's channel and I've done like the chats and stuff, but I'm always working on my computer, so and with 3 monitors, so I never mess with any of that stuff. Oh, Jay Danny talking about the tread on the Gravel Kings. I can't see from here which Gravel Kings those are because I can never remember, and I know you guys always talk about them. But I think you're right; they are the GKs. It's still fine tread, but not the super fine. But it's like the towpath style stuff. It's not gravel. It's but yeah, there's enough space in the Renaers and in the Ultra Dynamicos that they don't kick up like that really fine. And it's not even what people would really consider gravel riding. Just like I said, that crushed limestone stuff is what they're the worst for, in my opinion. David said, +1 for Lake Minnewaska, great views, fun carriage trails. We were saying, and I think I said this in the video I made, but it feels like you're riding somewhere you shouldn't be allowed to ride. It's just so rad. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, see, Pudgy, that's what I would have thought, but that's not what they said, so we'll see. Bradley said Natty's campfire stories are the stuff of legend. Yeah, that's motivation to get out to Gunks right there. Yeah, Donald, it was this morning when I got obviously it's a little different down there. This morning I had a shootout at like the Metro Transit Station doing some video, and it wasn't that bad yet, but I went out for my ride this night. I mean, just pedaling a little bit, and I was dripping. Nutmeg is on the 26th this year, whatever the weekend of the 26th, October. So it's a week later than usual. So yeah, they moved it, Pudgy. So, well, is it always the weekend? Is it just the way Halloween's falling that makes it seem later? Because wasn't it like the 22nd last year? But there haven't been, besides the date, not real announcements. So. Oh, Bradley, you might be out there this now. Yeah, because you were saying you're going to be in Florida for a wedding, right? Or no, your band was playing. Yeah. Oh, a festival that Dave knew about, right?
Oh, yeah, the Fest.
The Fest. Oh, is it just called the Fest?
Or Fest.
Fest. Oh, it's even more indie than I thought. I can't even use the. Man, gonna be more George there than a.
Oh yeah, that's
Chinese
required.
Yeah.
They check those at the
They
border.
don't even let you in if you're not wearing George.
Right. You can't even get into Florida without them.
Yes. That's not the ride we're talking about, but we are talking about Shawanagung. So no, we were talking about a ride in the spring that a couple friends organized that a lot of people here in the chat know personally. So, but it sounds like it's the same area. The Gunks and the what's the broader area? There's Minnewaska Lake, but there's the Gunk. It's really confusing when I was even making the video and doing the research, and then when you go up by the house and all that, there's 2 different nature preserves, and one is like privately funded. I don't. You New York guys know better than I do. I researched all that stuff for the video, but I don't quite remember it all. Yeah, as I've said many times, when I started riding gravel, I didn't even know about gravel bikes. I was just vintage road bikes out there. And then maybe getting back on my old mountain bike sometimes when I knew I was going to be hitting a lot of it. So, Oh, you were out at midday, Brian, in Medina? Yeah, I could imagine. It would be brutal at midday, at least, because I at least had some shade by the time I rode. Like, the sun was behind the trees when I was on the towpath and stuff, so. I heard New Day was at the gathering of the Juggalos. He was out at Nelson's Ledges. When we were in Ann Arbor and Lugs Not Drugs and Roach Clips were talking about a Juggalo themed ride, but their references, I'm like, man, I know enough to make a couple jokes, but man, they were going deep with the references. I'm like, are you sure you guys aren't fans? Russian grandma screaming whoop whoop. See, there we go. I only know that from other people making jokes that's what happens, you know?
Band I was in high school opened up for them.
Did you really?
Uh-huh.
Which one?
Super Fund.
Superfund opened up. That's right. I remember
With
you guys
Riazi?
saying that.
Yeah.
Dave has opened up. Dave has actually been there.
I was a juggalo for
Yeah.
one night.
Juggalo for one night. I was thinking of using Tuna Boat in the intro, Brian. Yeah, because I don't have the file for the song that's in the intro anymore. I don't know I can't remember where that was. So. Oh, Mohonk. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Mushroom Hill and David. Yeah. There was a border, and you have to pay to go into the one, and I know people go around the paying thing. We just paid where we parked because I don't mind supporting places like that, but I get if I lived out there and went out there all the time, I probably wouldn't pay to use it every single time. Whatever. Everyone do what you will on that stuff, but yeah. Yeah, I got you on the Mohonk Mushroom. Imagine doing a live stream for gravel biking on a tuna boat. How awesome. Well, kind of cool thing after Nutmeg this year, I've always been limited in my time that I could stay out east because I do for years and years, I've shot a Halloween party. That's always I think the Friday closest to Halloween. And this year they're not doing it anymore. It was the Halloween Charity Ball, Akron Charity Ball, changed the name a couple times. But one of my good friends was the person who put it on, and yeah, paid me well, and it was always a blast. So that was always my limiting factor. So maybe I could do a little bit more. David said the carriage trail at the Gunks were built as private trails for railroad barons' guests. Yeah, I do remember reading that they were carriage trails like that. Oh, I have Top Chat on. I wonder if I missed anything tonight.
Not really.
Oh, it just switched the order up like crazy. So it's just kind of... No, it didn't. I didn't see that Jay Dandy comment, though. Oh, it's 10:09. That's what you guys were saying. Yeah. One thing I brought up in the Discord, speaking of the Discord, too, is finally picked up some air tags. I want to put one in each camera bag for the two different cameras me and Dave use. And I think one cool thing about that would be because it notifies you as soon as it's gone, so you would know real quick. But since I got a 4-pack, I was thinking of putting one on each of my main bikes, the Rally and the Gunner. And we were looking at different ways to mount them. There's one someone was showing that goes inside the tire. That seems like a bit of a pain to me. But Large showed that Dirty River has a thing that mounts under your bottle cage. I think that's the most practical. I think it was Ops Obscurity showed one that goes on the Brooks saddle. I kind of feel like the bottle cage is the best option. Do any of you guys, I was just curious if any of you guys use them in any way on your bike, and if you do, how do you use them? And do you like them? So.
I forget where I just saw it. It was a tail light or whatever that popped off, and it held the tag inside of it.
Oh, inside the tail light.
I just saw it. I forget where I saw it.
That's interesting you say it, because Olight is, when they've sent me the headlights and the tail lights that I use a lot of,
Pudgy Pedal Pusher Super Chatted $1.99. New Dave yelling show me that butthole, cucumber, potato, birthday cake, socks, man, right arrow.
The right arrow. Let me see that. Yeah, but one of the things Olight sent me is like a clip-on thing for like your backpacks and stuff that has an AirTag holder, but that's not really. I don't want something dangly for the bike.
Mm-hmm.
So. I think Metroid. That's the one that something like that is the one that was shared in the Discord. So, Dog Fan said under the saddle on all my bikes. Headsling says yes, I have them on all mine in a holder behind the bottle cage. Yeah, so that's what I was looking at. The one that goes into the base of the head tube is the hardest to steal by a thief. Yeah, the only thing I was wondering is since their range is already so limited and they need to bounce off other phones, I kind of feel like that's why I like the under the saddle or the bottle cage. Again, they're not foolproof, but like where I live, bike thieves aren't like super savvy. They're like just crimes of opportunity or stuff like that. So I don't feel like that ultimate level of security is as important as if it was like I lived in New York maybe, but yeah. Spit all over this mic, that's what I was wiping off. Stem cap and bell mounts, yeah. Headsling said I can't find my wallet without AirTags now. This is one thing I finally got in the habit of doing is having a spot for my keys in my wallet, and it's been a game changer. Not that I still don't lose them once in a while, but
The stem cap looks obvious.
but it'd probably be a pain in the ass to remove. Is probably the key. Now, of course, there's Stream Elements when we need them. Brooklyn Industries had a store selling apparel and they tried to appropriate the Black Label look in their window dressing. And the store got vandalized. Black Label beer? Oh, Donald, awesome. You said you rode the carriage trail from the Cuyahoga Valley National Park up to the ledges and then on the washed out road down to the Winking Lizard. Cool, so you probably rode either Stanford Road or Old AP. So if you were up the carriage trail over to the ledges. Yeah, I'm guessing you probably came down Old AP, which is, yeah, that's an awesome road to ride down. It's so cool. What are you saying?
I'm afraid to explain it to you because all I can think about is that fight that we saw in the bar in New York. In New York.
It's so funny. I just met a dude who lived above the Mars bar last weekend. Anyways, go.
Yeah. But anyway, no, he's talking about the Black Label. It's like, picture like a motorcycle club, but for bicycles. And that's what they look like all leathered out, denim.
Oh, so someone appropriated a Tough Bicycle Group's logo.
Or just the look.
Yeah.
That's what that comment means.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't. No offense if I didn't describe that.
Yeah.
Please don't beat me up.
Don't beat us up. Please don't beat us up. I won't be in New York in late October. Don't look for me on a gray gunner. My doctor put an AirTag in me after I got lost. America is great. Yeah, ever since I got the COVID vaccines, Find My works on me now. Mushroom Hill is saying that, yeah. Oh, okay. I've definitely seen footage of this. Mushroom Hill and Mr. Natty, yeah. Jay Dandy said, Old AP, do not ride down. Yeah, there's been a couple mishaps. Kenny from Missing Falls tried to. He's a monster descender. He went over the edge. Everyone thought he was dead. One time I had a bee go down my shirt. I was one-handing it and yelling. Then Aaron turned around and we both almost went off the edge. But yeah, I've only ridden down old AP like twice. I've almost always climbed it, and it's always just a challenge to get up it. Anyways.
Who was here with Yonda last time? I can't remember.
Oh, Brian Marsh.
Brian. I watched him ride down that on a cruiser bike.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was actually amazing.
Why were you with him?
It was Eddie's ride.
Oh, and Eddie's ride. Oh, yeah, I forgot you guys had that connection. Did you type it like that, Pudgy? Because that's how it's supposed to be typed? Or if you like type it right, they'll come and kick your ass. Oh, I got you. Mushroom's kind of expanding upon what you were saying. Did you guys see in the Boston video I passed a guy riding a double-decker? What do you call it? Tall bikes? Passed a guy riding a tall bike right down the middle of like the traffic. It's great. Ringing his bell. I was so happy I had the camera running when that happened. But he said no, that's how it is. Took a bee to the crotch this weekend. Ah, that sucks, Jade Andy. Put an air tag on an old turtle or something. They acid etch the windows writing our culture is not for sale. Huh. Oh, definitely old AP, Donald, if there was the farm at the top of it. Yeah. Yeah, because if it was Stanford, you would have been up by Brandywine Falls. That's the other, like, kind of really washed out road that you could ride into the Cuyahoga Valley. It's another fun one. That was in one of my last videos, so you could see where a car had tried to drive it. Some teenagers. There were two rangers out there, and it was like a Ford, like Crown Vic or something. Like, and it's so washed out now. Have you seen it lately?
I haven't seen it lately,
I mean,
no.
like, it is, I mean, yeah. Oh, no way, Mr. Daddy. How was that ride? Because I don't know. I can't remember if I remember this while we were on the stream, but when I was going to Boston, the reason this ride sounded familiar, I'm like, that ride sounds so familiar. Erin had brought it up. She had two friends doing the ride, and so she was thinking of riding out to Boston with me and going to Massachusetts and doing the ride. But anyways, that's why when you guys were like, are you doing that ride? I'm like, no, but why do I know that name? It's because Erin had brought it up to me because she was interested in it, but then she decided to stay home. But you said you drank a beer after the ride and a bee landed in your pint, stung your tongue swelled up so bad, no French kissing anymore. Pudgy, you were a sculpture major? Is this...
What?
Huh, interesting. I assumed if you did any art in school, it would have been photography, considering you used to do weddings. But so today I said it was such a good day. D2R2 free beer. And then, yeah, the weather was awesome, too, right? Because, yeah, I rode... Well, yeah, if the ride was on Saturday, the weather would have been awesome, because Sunday was when it started raining. But that wasn't until later in the day, either. So, yeah, just when I had to drive home, and I already feel like I'm an idiot on the freeways now, and the rain just killed me. So Ah, I did know that. You've told me multiple times. Yeah. Was drinking involved though? Sculpture at Pratt was a trip. People would take a cinder block and melt plastic on it, and you had to like it or you were the weirdo. Ah, that's great. What do you say we wrap it up? I know it's 10:21, but like I've said, this week has been hectic, and I also do want to get another YouTube video out this week. Like I said, it's going to be like more of one of those musical ride videos. Um, yeah, and then I'm trying to do something over Labor Day weekend. Like I said, haven't really decided what that is yet. Probably not going to do a meetup. It's probably going to. Yeah, we were looking at coming down to Bailey's actually, Pudgy, but there's nothing.
Standy super chatted $1.99. Don't take a honeybee to the crotch. It, stings.
Whoops. Yeah, smash that like button. No B to the P. Yeah, I love how it says Shdandy. Shdandy. Yeah. Yeah, anyways. We were looking at coming down to the Baileys and like trying to rent something, but it's Labor Day weekend and it's the week of Labor Day, so everything's booked up. So we might just do like Ohio Gravel Grinders route or something to do a day trip. But anywho. Yeah, I think so. I think Yonda's gonna come by the stream next week. Like I said, video on Thursday or Saturday, and then I don't know, whatever we do this weekend will be next week's video. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to all the new members. Thanks for the super chats. Appreciate it. See you in the next one.
Okay. Myself on your YouTube. Okay, bye.
All right.
Cause
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.